After a fortnight of verbal stoushing over the Craig Thomson affair, it's now turned physical. Last night, a stalker deposited a shovel outside the home of Cathy Jackson, the union secretary who's agreed to forward potentially incriminating documents about Mr Thomson to police. The late-night visit is being seen as retaliation for that cooperation. Political correspondent Tom Eagleton reports from Canberra.
Cathy Jackson was distraught.
Sorry, I just haven't had any sleep.
But not discouraged.
So for people to try and intimidate me, as a responsible officer for the union, then they've picked the wrong girl.
The Health Services Union's decision to refer documents potentially incriminating Craig Thomson to police has caused a split amongst his old union colleagues. It's also reportedly sparked a factional brawl in the Labor movement.
This is not about my factional opponents or the HSU's factional opponents. This is about the HSU being a responsible union that we are.
She says the union had no choice but to cooperate with police after taking evidence of financial irregularities to Fair Work Australia 2 years ago. Documents it's still investigating.
It's been unfortunate that it's taken so long for it to occur. That's a problem.
G'day Beast, how are you?
Tony Abbott agrees.
The Fair Work Australia investigation has taken one hell of a long time, 2 years at least, and I think it's high time that that investigation was brought to a conclusion.
There we've got the leader of the opposition trying to tell Fair Work Australia how long it should take in an investigation. Well, I don't think it's proper for politicians to be seeking to bully authorities that are going through investigations.
She's also accused the opposition of putting undue pressure on New South Wales Police through a series of phone calls between state and federal Liberals and the state's police commissioner.
Look, I don't think that it was a problem.
Mr Scipione says police will concentrate on the evidence and not the politics.
We will get this right. We will not rush it. I wouldn't put that pressure on my detectives.
Tony Abbott's using the Thomson issue to slice further into the government's popularity, determined to hit the Prime Minister with everything he can.
Your chainmail glove, eh?
But another attempt today to land a blow came off as ham-fisted.
Move your fingers. Yeah.
As Mr Abbott seized on media reports, the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Ben Hubbard, called the Industrial Register to see what he knew about Mr Thomson before the Labor MP's legal issues became public.
Look, it shows that even before the public knew, the Prime Minister was closely monitoring the situation.
The report was wrong. The contact was made on the day Fairfax newspapers broke the Thomson story, and Mr Hubbard's call was above board.
Simply made contact to ascertain whether that newspaper story was true. The registrar advised that Mr Hubbard, the Chief of Staff, that it was true.
The opposition leader's claim was undone by his own side's questions to Fair Work Australia last year in Senate estimates, which first revealed the conversation between Mr Hubbard and the registrar.
And he wants an easy, sleazy way to the lodge. He's not going to get it.
But even when the government's winning on the Craig Thomson affair, it's losing. The more the political conversation's dominated by the sordid allegations against him, the more oxygen sucked from the government's other messages, like how it's going to deal with real-world economic uncertainty. The Reserve Bank Governor today defended keeping interest rates on hold all year.
At times of extreme turbulence, it's often a good idea to sit still.
But as for the future...
Balancing the various forces and trying to work out what they mean for the outlook doesn't seem to be getting any easier right now, though.
The government's carbon tax is not behind those comments. Mr Stevens doesn't expect it to have a major impact on inflation, as with previous new taxes.
Back at the time of the GST, I personally worried that we might struggle there, but it actually worked out fine.
Unfortunately for the government, a message that'll be largely lost amongst the point scoring about Craig Thomson. Tom Eagleton, Lateline.